In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the stocks component. With the stocks component, you can create a financial ticker that shows current stock symbols and the current value of a particular stock within that ticker. We'll show you how to configure the different stock symbols, all the different properties you can work with, and also how to assign your custom stock scene to the timeline. So in this example, we're going to want to build a scene that's going to reside over here within channel 1, the green channel on the bottom, and it's going to include an RSS ticker that's going to slide through and show the different stock symbols as well as the current state of each stock, the highs and the lows. And so the first thing we're going to want to do is create a brand new scene. So let's switch over here to navigation and go to scene editor right over here to enable the module, and we'll go ahead and add a brand new scene. Click on the plus sign right over here. And we'll go ahead and call this our stocks scene. Next, we'll switch to the components and go ahead and slide down to stock item and drag a few of the stock items to our scene. Now keep in mind that this scene that we're building right now only represents a single company's information. So for example, if we're building a stock ticker of Microsoft and Google and Yahoo, then this particular scene will only represent one stock company, and this stock company's information is going to slide through the stock ticker. So let's go ahead and instead of building just all this from scratch, let's go ahead and import a pre-made scene that we've already made available to you through the import scene module. So let's go ahead and click on the import scene icon just over here, switch to the stock folder, and go ahead and select the stock symbol and press OK. So we went ahead and imported a scene for a single company's information. This information is built from several stock items, including the symbol, the change percent, the change in value, and the last trade. And because this is a scene just like any other scene, any item here can be modified. So if you want to change the font or the color, make it bold, anything here is fully customizable. Now one more thing I want to show you before applying the scene to the timeline is that this scene right now is set with the default MIME type. So if I click over here on the stock symbol to actually select the scene itself and go to its properties, you see that the MIME type right now is set as scene. So we'll go ahead and leave this as default, and later I'll show you how you could actually change this to the stock MIME type and make your life a little bit easier. But again, for now we'll just keep it as a default scene. So let's go ahead and apply this scene to our timeline. So switch over here to our timelines, go to components, select the stock player and drag and drop it to channel 1, the green channel. We can double click to load up its properties, or you can also click on this icon over here. Over here we're presented with a few sample stock symbols, and of course we can modify this or just add our own if you wanted to add, let's say, Google. Next we're going to want to bind a scene to this stock player, and we're going to go ahead and bind the scene that we've created earlier. So switch to scenes, select the stock symbol, drag and drop it over here, make our ticker run a little bit faster, minimize this and click on play. And you can see the stock tickers are ticking along, giving us all the information that we needed. So as I just demonstrated, this was a two-step process. First you had to put the stock player on the timeline, and then you had to actually bind a scene. Now you can actually skip this process if you set up a MIME type. So let's go ahead and demo this. Switch back to our scenes. Again, go to the stock simple scene, go to its properties. This time we'll go ahead and set the MIME type to be stocks. So we're not going to use the default scene, but actually change it to stocks. And switch back to our timelines. Go ahead and delete this stock player. And now notice that because I've set the MIME type to stocks, I no longer have to first add a stock player to the timeline. In fact, what I can do now is I can go ahead and select the stock symbol and drag it directly to the timeline. Now I can go ahead and double click on it to load up its properties and see that the scene is already associated. Now all I have to do is just put in my symbols like Alcatel and Google. Again, double click to load up the information, and you can see that it's been applied. So with the MIME type, you can simply take the scene and drag it directly to the timeline, skipping the process of having to add first the player. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and let us know if you have any questions.